Great. Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
We're just doing a little bit of loosening routine. So just find a shoulder width posture. Just let the body sway side to side. You open up the rib cage. Let the arms just hang loose from the body. Let the weight shift side to side. Great. Take time. Let the arms wrap around the body. Let's change this into a wave through the spine. So just opening and closing the body. You move from the pelvis to the hips. Let the movement pass all the way up through the spine, out the top of the head. And just let the arms follow it. The shoulders open and close. Great. Just isolating on the shoulders, rolling them backwards. The chest, the shoulder blades. And change forward. Okay, making a light twist, rotating the back with the elbows. Keep the weight low. Okay, yeah, circling the hips. And change. Okay, bring the feet together. Change in direction. Shifting the weight into one leg, rolling out the ankle. And change. And change the leg. And change. To the wrist. And change. Shaking the wrist at the top. Let the arms loose, roll them down. Just taking this hold. Body leaves the ground gently, let the weight settle in. Transfer the whole weight of the body into the ground. Slowly settle again. Right. Okay, good. We're going to be looking at some bokken movements, but before that, we're going to look at a little bit of foundation training work. So this is a kind of prototype. It was developed by Dr. Eric Goodman. I've been working with it for about 3 years or so, and it's kind of gradually kind of bringing it into the Aikido classes as well, especially in the warm-up. So there's kind of some specifics to it. We're going to break it up between the bokken work and the foundation training, because if you've not done it before, I think most of you have, it can be a bit of an experience. We're going to do the first one. The main thing is hinging from the hip dominated movement. So this is really kind of where it's kind of integrated a lot into the weapon work that we do. We're going to start just with the feet. So what you want to do is just a narrow shoulder width posture. The first thing is just check the contact with the feet. So you want to feel that the feet have 3 points of contact. So the ball of the big toe, or the ball of where the big toe is, the outside edge of the little toe, and the heel, basically pressing into the ground. Just feel those 3 points of contact. Just test it by just pulling the toes up, basically. So just pull the toes up, feel the weight settle back and down, and just feel those 3 points contact. Okay, bring the toes back down into the ground. What I want to do is just look down at the feet. You want the outside edge of the feet basically being parallel. So it means a little bit like the feet look like they're in turn. What you want to do is like do that from the hip. So rather than the knees kind of buckling, feel that the hips just gently close. Okay. So the first thing we'll do is look at the breath, which runs through all the postures. And it's basically called a decompression breath. So it basically means about lengthening the spine and decompressing the rib cage, basically. So what I want you to do is just find the rib cage with the thumb. So find the base of the rib cage and find the base of the pelvis, or find the top of the pelvis with the little finger. So you're like a shocker symbol. Pull the spine up long. Okay, we're just going to use the breath to kind of pull the body up nice and long. So deep in through the nose. Just follow your own breath with it. The key thing with this is the out breath as well. So the out breath isn't a kind of breath where you're going to collapse the body. It's a breath where you're going to kind of make space. So the best image of this is the thing that you're kind of pulling the belly button towards the spine. So you're creating space all the time. So deeply in. Try and fill the ribcage, float it off the pelvis. And then as you breathe out, keep that length through the body. So the hands should stay expanded. Abdomen's like a long tube. Again, just check the contact with the feet. Feel you've got those 3 points of contact in both feet, nice and even. And with the head, when you think about lengthening through the back of the head, so you can think about just gently pulling the chin back towards the neck, or towards the spine, and just lengthen up the crown of the head. We'll do a couple more. Think about now the elbows are gently spreading away. So the key with this, especially with the shoulder work, isn't that the shoulders kind of close towards the back, but that they spread. So widen in the back as you do the breath. And then use the breath just to create a bit more space each time. And deeply out. So as you go through the poses, try and maintain that sense of breath, which is breathing in through the nose, keeping the space all the time so the breath doesn't collapse the body. Okay. We're going to go into now some hip movement. So the key with this first move, this is the founder. You're going to be, again, shoulder width, feet connected to the ground. Feel that you just unlock the hip here. So the key parts of the body that goes first is the hip. Okay. And as you do that, let the knees just gently unlock. Okay. So again, you can just test the posture by just pulling the toes up off the ground. Okay. Let the hip hinge back. Keep the body long so the chest stays up, chin stays back, and just hinging back the hip. Just hinge it back. Hinge it back. Feel again, the first thing to go is the hip, and then the knee unlocks. Okay. And the knees don't travel forward, they stay back. Okay. So the kind of body weight exercises. Taking the weight back in this case. Okay. Good. And we just bring a couple of elements into it. Bring the hands into it. Now you're going to splay the hands. You're going to bring them back. You're going to spread them out. The key thing with this is that the shoulders don't come together at the back, but they spread out at the back. So it's really about creating space in the body. Side to side, think about lengthening down. Just hold this position, a couple of deep breaths again, fully in through the lungs. Feel you breathing into the back of the rib cage. And then as you breathe out, try and maintain the length. So breathing fully in. And then fully out. One more deep breath. Pull the body up long. Now you're just going to gently pull the hips back a little bit more. You're going to scoop the hands forward and you're going to press the fingertips together. Especially good for sword work. Think about the little finger and the ring finger pressing together stronger than the rest. Right? So pressing all the fingertips together. Imagine you've got someone in front of you trying to pull the hands apart and you're just slightly resisting it. Okay? The key thing in this position, feel that the lats are engaging, so the underside of the arm, the back of the shoulder blade, really engaged. So you don't want to be spreading out the shoulder or bringing the arms up. Let them sink back and down. Press the fingertips together. Just a couple of deep breaths in this position. Create space and keep that decompression there. Okay. And what we're going to do from here is just go in and out of it. So find that position, find the breath, and then you're going to breathe into it, come out tall, and then you're going to breathe out and come back up long. Breathe in, you lengthen, and come out. Think about, again, the hips initiate the movement, the knees are locked, and then the arms come away. Press the fingertips together, and then pull the body back. And again, really exploring the relationship with the body to the ground. Use the ground to pull you in and out of the position. Breath follows, creates space all the time. Great. Just keep going in your own time. Just check. Good. Okay. Good. The best thing is think about really lengthening into the position. So now just increase the distance between the hip and the hand. Stretch as far as you can away from each other. So think about the hands and the hips really spreading away, and then pull yourself back. Okay. The main thing, you don't want to kind of crunch the body into the position here, which would be the same like doing the sword this way. Create length through the spine as you do it. So lengthen, lengthen, lengthen all the time into it. Okay, the head stays long, it doesn't kind of crunch down. And then pull yourself up to the top, lengthen, and pull yourself long. So really increase now the movement. Pull the hips back a little bit further. Pull the hands, spread the hands a little bit further forwards. Imagine kind of reaching out for something. Yes, that's perfect. Great. That's good. Okay, great. So just come back to a normal position, just shake the body out a little bit. If you feel any kind of pain in the lower back or anything, just release it out. You don't want to carry over any of the tension, so just release it out. Good. Okay. And then just take your sword, please, from the bokken. And we'll go right into the first suburi. So some of the key tips from the foundation work, the first thing we'll look at is just the hip. So really play with the first suburi here, coming into posture and really initiating with the hip, pull into the back and initiating the cut from the hip. So that space created. But the first thing is just think about the hip initiated in those positions. Hip initiated, hip initiated. Just go into it in your own time. That's it. Okay. Yeah, good. Okay. Good. Just give yourself space here, just to really explore the foot position as well. So find the back of this position. Again, really feel that the weight's centered in the foot, and then you've got those 3 points of contact in the ground. As you go into the cut position, and just explore that position. Feel comfortable kind of lifting the toes up and settling the weight down into the position. Feel that the legs are really your anchor for the whole movement. So the hips doing the motion, but your legs and your feet as the contact point to the ground are your anchor. So just explore in these two positions, the top position, explore the feet where the weight is, explore the feet where the weight is settling into the foot. Give it a try. Go ahead. Good. Great. Okay, now, so just play here just with the hand. Keep the sword on the left side. Focus on the length through the spine now. So come to the back hip. Just let the hand kind of come up, and then focus on here, the length in the spine as you go into it. So, and keeping the contact with the ground, keep the hip initiating the motion, and think about just the length of the spine. So take the weight away from the sword, and just allow the spine to really lengthen up. Think about the tailbone and the top of the head, lengthening and tensioning. Pull into it, settle. Pull into it, settle. Yeah, give it a try. Keeping the length of the spine. Yeah. That's so nice. Okay, good. Just play with this, just here, the hand a little bit extended from the body, and just play with the hip and the hand. So just creating a connection from the hip and the hand, letting the hand spiral as the hip drops in, as the hip slots into place. And don't make this a push. Go pushing out or just slotting in, and play with the flexibility in the wrist and its ability to mobilize through that position. Give it a try. You can play with both sides and just stick to the right. And let the hip really speak to the hand. So that's it. Good. Great. Good. We'll come back into the first suburi. So just do it now as one motion. So I'm not pausing at the back. Find the back, cut into it. Find the back and cut into it. Again, try and mobilize everything around the hip. Strong contact with the feet, and just one motion now. Give it a try. So first suburi, just make it one flexible motion from the hip. Boom. That's it. Good. Okay, perfect. Great. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go to another foundation pose. So this one's a little bit different. The first one's really a symmetrical position, so you've got the feet in the same position. This time is working with an asymmetrical position. So you've got quite a long squat, but lunge position, but not too long. So kind of about like a jogging pace with the body, with the feet. Same thing with the feet. Think about this, the hips being square on. So you don't want the hips to be kind of spread or open out. I know we're kind of used to doing Aikido where we've got the kind of hip open position. Let the hips be in this front position. The back toes pointing forward, okay? And the back heel just off the ground. Okay, first thing, same thing we did with that founder pose. Find the rib cage, find the top of the pelvis, and just breathe in big. Okay, so just let the body settle into that long length position. Chest up, chin back. Creating length all the time with the breath. Just check those 3 points of contact again, especially with the front foot. Base the big toe, little toe, and the heel. Okay, back foot's got 2 points. Lengthen up. Let the weight settle. You've got a kind of springiness in the knees, so the knees are unlocked, they're not straight. Okay. You don't also kind of sink the body down. So breathe in. Okay. The same thing, hip integrated movement. You're going to let the back hand, the opposite hand, scoop through as the body weight kind of comes forward over the front leg. Scoop through and bring it back. Okay. Scoop through and bring it back. You're going to let the body pass through the center line and then pull back. Get the weight shifting about 70, 80% into the front leg. And then back. So shifting the weight forward in that front leg and pulling back to 50-50. Scoop through And pull back. Give it a try. That's it. Okay. That's it. Good. Okay, hold that top position here, and then you're going to bring the opposite hand into it. Squeeze the fingertips together. Just lengthen that position. Couple of deep breaths. And check in the contact. Most of the weight's going to the front leg, front hip.
Hey, Michael, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure, can.
Are you in a twist or are you forward? On this
Very subtle twist. So very.
Okay, can you show it from the front?
Yeah, in this position. So the body's basically, or the center's coming over the front hip.
So your weight is on the front foot?
Yeah, and the weight goes to the front leg, and then very
twist. Oh, okay, got it. Fine, okay.
That's it. Yeah. Good. Yeah, and then for this one, we're going to just increase that rotation. So the key with this again is the hip does it, not the upper body. So let the back hit, release, and take the body over. Okay. So keep that front leg stable. Don't let the knee kind of twist or unlock. Let the hip release the body to the side, and then pull back to the center. Twist out, pull back. Again, you're looking for like hip dominating movement. Hip pulls you out, hip pulls you back. That's it. Great. No, that's it. Perfect. Don't feel really stable in the feet. If you feel like unstable in the feet, play with this, which is like scissoring the legs towards each other. So imagine you're pulling the front heel towards the back foot and the back foot towards the front. So like you're doing this kind of motion without doing it, but anchor the body into the leg. So if you feel kind of unstable, in this position, just take your time, find the position and just gently scissor the legs together. Okay, settle into it. And you go into it. So you want to feel the back of the body, especially the back of the legs, really engaging. The glutes and the back, whole back side of the leg, balls in it. Perfect. Great. And then just come out of it. We're going to change the leg, do the same thing. So find that weighted position, lengthen up, okay, and then let the back arm scoop out and then pull back. Scoop out and pull back. So the weight's going over that front hip. Reach out, come back. Reach out, pull back. And letting the weight go from 50-50 to around about 70-80% in that front leg. Good. Last one, reach out, hold it, bring the other hand in, squeeze the fingertips together. Settle into it, a couple of deep breaths. And if you feel they're unstable, use that scissoring of the legs towards each other, pulling towards the center. And then again, just play the gentle rotation to the side from the hip. Rotate out, bring it back. Rotate out, bring it back. And you want the torso to be following the hip work. Good. Keep going just a few more. Good. Good. Nice. Great. Good. Okay, perfect. Just release it. Shake the body out again. Shake out the legs. Grab your pocket. And if you feel any tension, just try and release it a little bit. Don't want to kind of carry it over. It's the sword work. Okay. So we'll take this now into the fifth suburi. So we'll just work on the spot with it. Find a kamae hip. Just really work the hips into it. So coming in, release. Nice soft focus with it. So focus on the hip work. Again, the hips mobilizing the whole body. The weight shifting to the leg and then shifting back into 50-50. Shifting fully to one leg and then back in. Mobilizing the hips, mobilizing the weapon. Yeah, give it a try. Good. That's so nice. Yeah, good. Okay, so just play now, don't increase the power. Slow it down and play with just opening that movement out again. So the key thing with this is giving the motion to the hip. So as if the hip kicks the sword up and then drops it into place. So feel two parts of this connection, the hip rolling the sword up and then the back hip dropping the sword down. So really try and allow the arms to be governed by the hip work. So slow it down, make it a little bit thicker in terms of connection work. Really get to a position where you can really feel the hips driving the sword up and pulling it down. I'm going to try really kind of thick, heavy connection work. That's perfect, great. Okay. So. Okay, so we'll take this into stepping now. Depending on your space, you can do 2 or 4, or if you've got a really tight space, just do 1 cut. And again, just focus on that weight coming down, in through the legs, settling each time. Coming down, settling each time. Okay. So again, really focus on the hip work, anchoring into the ground, and that compression across the front leg comes in and then lands up the weight. Okay, give it a try. So working with steps each time. Just work within your own space. Good. 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 Right. That's it. Good. We'll just do one exercise with this again, just to minimize the use of the arms and again the weight in the front of the body. Just gently press the sword into the center, just above the belt. Yeah, and just practice that footwork. So rolling through, really take your time with it. So the hip initiates it, the body rolls through, and then roll through the hip. Okay, so the center of the body rolling through the hip. So you can play with backwards as well, but if you want, you can just stick to forwards. Rolling through, and so let the hands do nothing. They just stay in contact with the sword. Sword stays in contact with the body. And play with just that roll through with the hip. Roll through and step. Roll through and step. Give it a try. That's it. That's it. Good. That's it. Okay, perfect. And then just working with 2 curves, see if you can bring them together so lightly with it. Feel nice and agile, and you can just take them to the next cut. So the key thing now is the connection of the balance work. So find the ground, find the next cut. So gently finding the impulse towards the ground from the first cut, taking it into the second, and settling. Just working with 2 cuts. Okay, give it a try. Flow nicely into that second cut now. Great. So. Okay, perfect. Great. So we've got a bit more time. We'll just do one more pose with the foundation training. We're going to keep the bokken for it. So this is a great pose called the archer pose. So you're going to keep the bokken as if it's your bow. Okay, in this case. So very similar to the last pose. You want to find like a long lunge position, not too long, not too narrow. Sit into it. The bow is going to go, your bokken's going to go in the front hand. Okay. So we'll bring it into it, but just find that kind of lengthened position first. Okay. In this one, you're not going to hinge over the hip. You're going to stay upright. Okay. So you're going to bring the hands out together, squeeze into the front position. Okay. What I always think about is just lengthening that front hand out. Okay. So you're going to spread the hands into this position. From that side, spread into this position. Okay. You're going to take the thumb of the opposite hand and you're going to put it into the palm of your hand holding the sword. Okay. From here, from the hip, you're going to trace the arm all the way down the forearm, all the way to the shoulder. And this is your kind of archer pulling the bow position. Okay, just hold that position. And then all we want to do is just thread it back down to the front. Okay, down the forearm and back to the front. Okay, so keeping the body long, go into the palm, roll down the forearm, pull from the hip. And again, so creating length through the body, opening up and pulling back. Just in your own time, just play with it. So find the palm, roll down the forearm, lengthen into that pose. Great. Let's try.
Can I ask? Quick question.
Yeah, sure, go.
The pull is initiated from the hip, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
it's a very small movement at the beginning, and then it accelerates.
Yeah. So think the movement's coming from the back hip. So the back hip's opening out and pulling out the hand, and then it's going to press the hand back forward. That's it. That's it. Nice. Good. And then that's what you're just going to increase the arm movement. So find that position, find that back shoulder position, and then you're going to release the arm out to the back. So fully open the body out, find the length, and then you go from the hip, let the arm come back to the front. Okay, so you can do this fluidly. Roll back, open the arm out, spread, and then roll back to the front. Trace down the forearm, open out, roll back with the hip. So that's nice. And if you feel a little bit unstable in that position, you can use that inner anchor and just kind of slightly scissor the weight towards each other. Great. Good. Okay, we're not going to do both sides of this. We're going to go to the opposite side. So there's a standard archer pose and there's a reverse archer pose, which is just with the legs changed. So it's a little bit more tricky. You're going to have the right foot forward in this case. Bokken's in the left hand. You're going to reach out here. So for the reverse, you're going to come across this way. Okay. The big difference with this is you're twisting or spiraling the hip into the feet. So find the front leg forward, reach out with the left leg, and then spiral in this way. So the body weight's more in the front leg than the back. Okay. You're going to do the same thing. Find the center of the palm with the thumb, and then trace down the forearm, open out. And if you want to go that far, just pull the hand back, or you can open it out and then bring it back forward. So keep the weight forward in this one. The tendency is to kind of pull back with the hip. Keep the weight forward. So you're in a really dynamic position, lengthening out, open, pull back. So just using the same side, opposite leg this time. That's it. Got it. Tricky. Yeah. Nice. Good. Nice. Very nice. Great. And then just release it, shake the hips out a little bit. There's two nice parts with that one, especially that last one is that kind of coil spiral through the hip and this opening out of the sides of the body. So we'll take this into the last we'll look at the 7th Suburi, just in a really basic way. So starting at the back, enter into your comment, and then spiral into the hip, into the ski, and then come back. So just a real basic set with it. Really open up the back, cut down into your comment, and then spiral in through the hip that way. Yeah, give it a try. Working with 7. Go ahead. Spiral into that front hip. Okay. Okay, so just the ski or the entry into the ski, just play this, do this in 3 moves, roll into it, pull back, roll into it, and on the third one, roll through it, this way. So just don't focus on the power in the ski, focus on the hip work and that spiral into that front leg. Okay, big up in this case, that front leg kind of opening out, let yourself travel through the hip, right through it, center rolls over the knee, over the foot, and then press through it with the body, opening out the hip. So just do it in about 3 moves, so 1, pull back, 2, pull back, and then 3, roll through it, into the ground. Give it a try. Let the body pull in and out of position again, hip-led motion. And in this case, really with a spiral coming into it. Perfect. That's it. Got it. Good. Okay, perfect. Very last thing, we're just going to create a mini set with the bokken work. So the first time, just do it as if you've already done it. Here, cutting on the yokomen, finding the ski, and then from this position, you're going to rotate to the backside, slide to the rear. Okay, and then from here, continue with the yokomen from the right foot, and then back into a ski. Okay, and then from that position, roll to the back, continue into the slides, open out into the yokomen, and into the ski. So it's 3 moves: a slice, yokomen, ski. Yeah, give it a try. Last thing we'll do. Open up with a slice. Right side yokomen, left side ski. So again, focusing on the hips, the connection with the hands into the sword. Good. Yeah, very good. Great. And very last minute also, just play with a little bit more flexibility. So you're going to use the ski as a kind of pause, natural pausing point in this. Find the slides, find the yokomen, find the ski, and pause. And just bring it together. So again, not focus on power, focusing on connection. Meaning hip, led motion, slice, cut, thrust. Pause, slice, cut, thrust. With it. Give it a try. Last minute or so. Bam. Nice. Good. Okay, perfect. We're going to stop there. Take a break. If you've got any questions, especially about the foundation, I know it's a bit odd for probably some of you. Let me know if anything that's unclear. We'll bow out, and then we'll start again on the hour. Okay. So.
Thank you.
Great. どうもありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Okay, great.
Okay.